Coming up on this week's edition of Thunder Insider. With just a handful of games left in the regular season, we'll check in with head coach Scott Brooks.
Key to our last couple of scores, quick decision. We had a good shot, but we had a great shot. Look for great shots.
We'll take a trip to Tulsa for another 66ers Kids Day and show you how the entire Thunder organization is helping those in need. It's all coming your way starting right now on Thunder Insider. Welcome to another week, another edition of Thunder Insider. I'm Leslie McCaslin, joined as always by Matt Pinto and Grant Long. Guys, we have slowly begun the countdown to the end of the regular season. Just 13 games left now, but when you look at who the Thunder play in those final 13 games, well, there are quite a few challenges still ahead of them. They have the Spurs at home. They have games on the road against Indiana, Golden State, Portland. It is a long way from being over, and a lot of things could happen in this Western Conference. As we near the end, though, Matt, let's start with you. Where should the team's focus and mindset be in this final month?
I think the thing that jumps out at me, Leslie, is there are 6 Eastern Conference opponents in the final 13. That's unusual. Normally you're done with the other conference by this stage of the game, and they'll face Milwaukee twice in the final 13 games. They've not even seen the Bucks. That's a team that's fighting for a playoff spot and positioning in the East. So the thing to keep in mind, there are a lot of teams, Grant, that are going to be jockeying for playoff positioning, and the Thunder want to make certain they're playing at optimum heading towards mid-April and into the postseason.
Yeah, I look at on that schedule, and I'm looking at Indiana, who's playing very well right now. They're the team, in my estimation, that could really give the Miami Heat a challenge in the playoffs because they are fortified at each position. They've got a lot of confidence that they feel like they can beat the Miami Heat. So I think going into the latter part of this season, the schedule is suggesting that the Thunder will be there, and they've got to really take care of business when they hit Indiana.
And let's just be honest, the San Antonio game jumps out as well. Come on, now let's be serious.
They want to take care of business in that game for sure. And when you talk to the team, some of the things that they want to focus on, they talk about building good habits, turnovers. They want to start limiting those. Also, rebounding, particularly on the offensive boards. Where do you think they need to improve as we go down the stretch?
Well, they've got to do a much better job protecting the ball, because what happens when there are a large number of turnovers in their live ball variety is their defense becomes really vulnerable in transition, and they give up easier points than they'd like to. When their defense is set, Grant, they're as good as it gets in the NBA, second in the league in field goal percentage defense. But when they're turning it over, it puts a whole lot of stress on their offense to get those points back. And yes, they get to the line a ton, which mitigates high turnover games. But in order for them to get where they want to go, I think those numbers have got to be reduced over these final 13.
I'm a big fan of rebounding because I feel like if you can rebound the ball, you can control the basketball game. So I'm a big fan of rebounding. I think there has to be more rebounds by the front line, but I also think those comeback rebounds have to be gathered also. And I mean by Russell Westbrook. The guards have to get into that play of rebounding the basketball. That helps out the team a lot. I also think if they can continue to move the ball, I think the target number as far as assists are concerned should be somewhere around 20, above 20 to 25 assists. If they can do that, they're going to have a really good time.
As someone who played, Matt, you've seen this team year after year. I mean, this is an exciting time, so much energy. You're on the final stretch. You know that the playoffs are near. Where should they be chemistry-wise, mentally-wise, as they finish things out?
I'm thinking that the starters are where they want to be. They're continuing to excel and exceed and go far beyond. I think the bench group, they have found an identity with Reggie Jackson and Derek Fisher. These guys are playing very well in the backcourt. I think they're getting some production. They're moving the shot clock with a score clock. And defensively, I think they're very sound. Hasheem Thabeet has missed a couple games, but I think he is going to be incorporated into their defensive schemes down the stretch.
As the team enters the home stretch and looks ahead to the regular season, not only is head coach Scott Brooks game planning for each night, he's also game planning for the end of the regular season and then the playoffs. So as they prepare and he gets ready, we checked in with head coach Scott Brooks and the team to see how focused they are and what those good habits they hope to build are for the end of the year.
Guys, don't give up any cheap buckets. No layups, no turnovers in transition. Keep getting good shots.
One thing about Coach, man, he lets you go out there and do. If you work on your game and you work on your jump shot and work, he never complained about offense. So I guess that's why we wanted the league leaders.
Go, be aggressive on offense. Run, move their feet. Run, pass, move, kick, shoot.
One thing about Scotty that you gotta love, he give you the freedom to go out there and play on the offensive end.
Good, Russell, good, good. There you go, just dunking next time.
He's the most humble guy I've ever been around, and he's a great role model, first off, because, you know, he may have a great defensive scheme, and, you know, a great offensive strategy, and he gives us all the credit, and, you know, we really don't deserve too much of it when he's putting us in great positions. So
I feel this. We're going to have a great third quarter. But these 3 minutes, we can cut this thing down to under 12, maybe 9, maybe 8. It's going to be important. How are we going to do that? Extreme heat on the ball. Extreme effort on the run back. Rebound the ball.
Scotty is one of those guys, you know, should be in the Coach of the Year discussion every single year. But, you know, if we continue to win consistently, you know, it's tough to do. But, you know, he's one of the great young coaches in this league. And, I'm looking forward to growing with him.
Fourth quarter basketball, we live for this. We take pride in winning games in the fourth quarter. That's what we do here.
Ahead on Thunder Insider.
We did some dribble wars, played some knockout, just kind of interacting with the kids, and they seem like they're having a good time.
Thunder fans, it's never too early to look forward to next season. The NBA recently announced preseason games for the Thunder beginning on October 5th in Istanbul, Turkey, to play a 5-time Turkish champion. Then the Thunder heads to England for an October 8th matchup against the Philadelphia 76ers for the first ever NBA game in Manchester Arena. It's all part of an NBA initiative to expand the game globally and will include community events and other fan outreach events. Welcome back to Thunder Insider. I'm Leslie McCaslin, now joined by Brian Davis and Grant Long. We just talked about where the Thunder needs to improve as we finish out the regular season, but there have been so many improvements they have made already as we look back over the 60-some-odd games, and one of those players, of course, is Serge Ibaka. We've talked about all year how he has improved offensively. In fact, we have a shot chart that it compares his first year of play to this season. It is pretty unbelievable to see how his game has grown. And as you look at these numbers, particularly where they're growing not only inside that 10 to 15 foot range, but how many more threes he is taking this year.
You go from a few more, and then you go to a lot more, and then the three-pointers, that's almost exponential.
Yeah, 2 things that I think that he's done that helps him succeed. I think he's got a lot of confidence now, and I think the work ethic. I've heard Kendrick Perkins talk about Serge never leaving the gym until he sees the ball go through the basket at least 1,000 times. That's a tremendous level of execution for him. That's why he's knocking those shots down from the perimeter to about 17 to 18 feet. He also understands now in the Thunder's offense where he's going to get the ball. Early on, it was like sporadic. He could get it underneath. He could get it sometimes on the roll, sometimes on the pick. Now he's going to be a roll guy, or he's going to be a pick and pop guy near the top of the key area, and that's where he works on his shot. So just knowing where you're going to receive the ball and to get your offense gives you an opportunity to work on that area on the floor, and I think that's where he's excelled.
And Leslie, you saw the percentages except for three-point, but hey, listen, 36% from three ain't bad.
He just took 2 shots.
Yeah, right. But the thing about it is that also he continues to improve his efficiency at the offensive end. But if you watch him play, just look at the way Ibaka plays this game, and off a rebound or one of his own blocks, how he busts back down to the defensive end of the floor. He's not sacrificed his defensive effort for his offensive game, and I think that's a really important note to make about the evolution of his game.
Well, and it's not just Serge Ibaka. I mean, we've seen evolution by all of these players, Russell Westbrook included, who has also increased his game more shooting outside the perimeter and not just driving the lane.
You know, it's kind of nice to see with Russell is that he's shooting at a career-high pace from 3, and he went through a little bit of a valley, but now that three-pointer, Grant, is becoming more reliable. Okay, so we've talked before, if he's got the pull-up jumper working, now he's got the three-pointer working, how do you defend him?
Tell you what, you go back to his very first year, and there was a lot of three-point shots that Russell Westbrook took that did not go in the basket, and he actually abandoned the three-point shot for a long period of time, but he put in some work, he got better at it, and I think also let's point to the fact that he's gotten more comfortable with his upper body strength now, and he works a lot in the low post, so that's another added dimension that he has that he can bring to the game, and I think sometimes he uses a lot of those different things just to keep the opponent's defense off balance. He'll shoot some threes to start the basketball game, game. Other times he'll get in the low post and dictate offense from there. Also, you talked about it, BD, his pull-up jump shot in transition. So many different things that he brings to the ball game makes it difficult for opponents to try to defend him.
And it's important to point these things out because these are all things that are going to be important as they near the playoffs, and that's also the game of Thabo Sefolosha. He is not just a defender anymore. In fact, I've heard Matt Pinto call it Tabo's quarter over there. I mean, but that's what it's become.
Well, you know, he's now for the second straight season, he's over 40% from three. Yeah, 45% from the corner three, 38 from the angle three. He knows where the bread and butter spot is, but Granny's averaging career high scoring. We've also seen him at important moments be aggressive about getting the basket as well.
And I think I put him along with Serge Ibaka in the same basket because they were both primarily known for their defense. But both guys wanted to continue to develop and grow with the team, and they've added some offense to their game already. And I think when you talk about Thabo Sefolosha, I had a conversation with him, and I talked to him about at some point he was one of the best off-the-ball cutters that this league has ever seen, but that's kind of went away. But he said that's the way their offense is now. He understands where he's going to be available, where he's going to get shots, so he works on those corner three-pointers.
And to tie this all up to, guys, I think the other thing that's sort of the undercurrent beneath all of this is the trust that is developed within this team. It doesn't matter who, as long as the shot is good, go ahead and take it.
And it's making it fun to watch, that's for sure. Well, if you haven't sent your child to a Thunder youth basketball camp, it's definitely something you should consider. These camps are year-round, and during spring break, the Thunder put on 2 camps for all kids 5 through 16. It's designed, of course, to help young kids learn basketball fundamentals, but also how to be a team player. Even better when they get to learn those things from guys like Nick Collison.
This drill is a chance to get better. Make sure everything we do today, we're working hard. We're going as fast as we can. Get better today, okay?
I got my little boy here, Wyatt Geisler. He's 4, and he is a giant Thunder fan. He didn't get much sleep last night, so, but on the other hand, he's very excited. He was hoping to be the player, and he got to meet Nick Collison.
Yeah, dribble with one hand.
We did some dribble wars, played some knockout, just kind of interacting with the kids, and they seemed like they're having a good time, getting started early in the morning, and I was just having a good time playing with them. The kids have a lot of energy. It's fun to get away from our season, which seems to get really serious at times, and come in here and have fun with the kids. It's refreshing to start your day off like this.
Just great to get him here and for him to come out and be with these little guys and just to let them kind of see him up close and personal and have a little bit of a relationship with the Thunder player is kind of what it brings. So he's just probably going to be a Nick Collison fan for the rest of his life.
Ahead on Thunder Insider.
Being out there and being playing this year has helped me a lot. My confidence, just how to build confidence and and really see myself progressing in certain areas of my game.
Thunder fans, don't forget to take part in our Watch and Win contest brought to you by your Oklahoma Chevy team dealers. Not only do you have a chance to win tickets to an upcoming home game, just visit thunder.nba.com and enter the code 6988 or text the code to 68278 for your chance to win. Welcome back to Thunder Insider as we check in with the Thunder affiliate, the Tulsa 66ers. What's better than a field trip where kids can play games, win prizes, be entertained by mascots and cheerleaders, and get an education? For kids and parents alike, it was a win-win situation as local kids got to experience the second Tulsa Kids Day this season.
We have our second Kids Day of the 2012-13 season. We have a few thousand kids in the building from area Tulsa schools.
Today we brought 50 students with us. We brought our trifecta kids, and that's our students that have good attitude, good grades, and good attendance. They're having a fantastic time.
This is their second year to come, and they take the 4th graders and bring them down for one of their field trips.
We just brought our students today to come on a field trip. It has to be educational, but I want it to be fun, so we brought them so they could have both fun and educational. I learned a little bit about healthier ways to eat, good ways to exercise.
Excited to have them here, give them a little bit of information on nutrition, physical education, how to stay fit and healthy.
It is a reward for them. It's a great opportunity. Coles and the Get Fit 66ers came out to our school and did an awesome assembly. And this is just a great opportunity to continue that information out with the kids.
Well, many of the Thunder players have gotten some valuable playing time and experience in Tulsa this year. One of those players is Daniel Lorton. Recently, he scored a career high in Tulsa with 30 points, 9 boards, and 3 blocks. Grant Long had a chance to catch up with Daniel about his recent success.
I was joined by Daniel Orton. Daniel, we were talking about the trips that you guys make up to the Tulsa area for the 66ers games. When you get that call, what's it like? Do you just head up there that day, or do you have time to prepare?
It depends on the situation. Typically, you head up that day or the day after. That's about it.
When you go up there, are the plays designed for you? Are the plays the same as we see with the Thunder players?
Yeah, it's the exact same plays. Really, the exact same sets. I mean, they might call different plays for guys who are signed down there, but for the most part, it's the exact same plays. Coach Darko does a really good job of keeping everything simple, and the exact same way here.
What's the advantage for you when you go play for the 66ers?
Just to go play and get experience more so than anything. It's just, that's probably what it is, just playing.
Does it help you when you take the floor when you come back with the Thunder?
Yeah, it does. It does. I mean, being out there and being done playing this year has helped me a lot. My confidence, just how I build confidence and, really see myself progressing in certain areas of my game.
That's my next question. When you go and you play at that level, do you try to go with the mindset, I'm going to work on something? Is it pivot moves that you're trying to work on? Is it rebounding that you're trying to work on? Is there a designated element of your game that you're trying to hone in on when you play?
I mean, for me this year has pretty much been defense. Knowing where to be on defense and knowing all the correct calls and everything. But more so than anything, it's just playing basketball.
I haven't had a chance to talk to you since you've been here. What's it like playing for your hometown team?
It's been good. It's been a lot of fun. It's good being around people who truly support you and have your best interests. So, I mean, it's been good.
So far in your young career, what have you been able to get better at from day one?
Probably work ethic. How much I work. I mean, how much work I put into it, and the effort I put into my job too.
Ahead on Thunder Insider.
It's definitely fun to see, everybody in the organization coming out to the food bank, giving back to the community, and it's a great feeling.
Earlier in the show, you heard about the Thunder's international preseason games, but don't worry, fans, you will have a chance to see them closer to home. The team recently announced preseason games in Wichita at the Intrust Arena and in Tulsa at the BOK Center. And as always, just check out thunder.nba.com for the latest ticketing information. Bells ringing, people cheering, and tons of food and happy children. Sounds a little like the holidays, right? Well, it's March, not December, but that was the exact scene at the Regional Food Bank of Oklahoma this week when the Thunder organization teamed up with the food bank as well as the Boys and Girls Club to pack tons of backpacks of food to help out local kids in need.
We are so thrilled. We have the Thunder team, we have the Thunder coaches, and we have the Thunder staff all out here at the Regional Food Bank of Oklahoma.
What are you doing here today?
Well, we're putting together some packages for some kids so they can have some nice food over the weekends when they're away from school. So, we're trying to feed some children today.
We're here making bags of food to give out to the people that need it.
In Oklahoma, we have 1 in 4 children that are at risk of hunger every single day. So these are the backpacks that go home with them on the weekends. They give them food over between Friday's lunch at school and Monday morning breakfast at school.
For us, it's really satisfying to be able to do this and knowing that it's going directly to the kids. It's very satisfying.
So these kids are totally dependent upon this. And if we didn't have volunteers here to assemble the sacks, the kids wouldn't have the food.
It's a tremendous program. Many of my kids who come to my center every day, they're a part of this program. That's the reason I'm out here volunteering my time.
Well, we're filling up these bags with some of these food items to make sure that some kids and families have some food on the weekend.
We're all here helping out. We got an organized assembly line going here.
I'm the juice man, the milk man, and some more chocolate milk man.
We got us a good little crowd. Kids are full of energy.
grown-ups full of energy, so it's for a good cause.
By the time they're done, they will probably have assembled enough food to go in probably, I'm going to say, a couple thousand food for kids backpacks.
It's important for the people that we're giving back to. It's this day isn't about us in here putting together these bags. It's really about the people receiving it.
Have you ever get to meet your real models growing up?
Did I ever get to meet them? I didn't. I never had a chance to. So, you know, it's my duty now to whoever looks up to me, just try to let them know that just give them hope. That's what I'm here for, to give hope and inspire.
Just helping families and kids just have an extra meal. So, you know, we're just happy to be here.
Why do you like doing these things?
Just meet people like you. That's the whole thing. Meet people like you, and hopefully the years down the line, you can do the same thing for somebody else.
To be one-on-one with some of these players, it's great. The kids, first off, it's shocking to them because they had no idea this was even going to happen. They thought they were just coming out here just to volunteer their time. And so this was just a huge bonus for them to see these players come out here and high five and shake a hand and things like that, because they have no idea. That's the greatest thing about it.
How special is it to come out here? It's not just the team, but the entire organization, Boys and Girls Club, so many people coming together to help out.
It's really special, and you know what? There's a lot of bonding going on, and players with kids and management and staff and coaches and everybody's out here. We're having a great time doing it, so it's very satisfying, a lot of fun.
What's your favorite thing about playing foot basketball?
Playing here in Oklahoma City is my favorite thing.
Yeah, I like the Thunder.
You like the Thunder too?
Yeah, I like the Thunder real bad.
Oh yeah?
Yep.
I bleed Thunder blue, so hopefully you do too.
Yeah, I do.
All right, good deal.
Such a great event. I think I may have actually lost my job there. All right, well, together, the Thunder staff and team assembled over 14,000 pounds of food, more than 12,000 meals, and over 4,400 backpacks for local kids. Well, that's all we have for this week's show. Remember, though, there are only 13 games left in the regular season. Be sure to tune in to right here, Fox Sports Oklahoma, as we finish off the end of the year and gear up for the playoffs. And as always, we'll see you next week right here on Thunder Insider.